I want to talk this week a little bit about fear. It's something that seems to grip a lot of us during this pandemic that's going on. And I was running across Psalm 27. It's one of David's exuberant declarations of faith. And he was summing up confidence for the situation based on all the past experiences he had. I want you to think, like, if you got bad news for surgery. I personally do not believe it as a sin to feel fear like of an upcoming event. But, that's a God-given emotion. There's a but there. There's also what 2 Timothy 1:7 describes as a spirit of fear. That's different. A spirit of fear comes from Satan. That's a dimension of fear that can cripple your thoughts and alter your actions and your decision-making process to the point where you just kind of shut down and you stop doing things and you pull away from God. You separate yourself and you do things so that you say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I want to stay away from church, I can't do this, I can't do you. The spirit of fear does a lot of things that can pull us away from the truth and the faith and the hope that God gives us. Remember that God still walks with us no matter what the situation is. And I was thinking about when my first wife and I were both going through our cancer treatments and stuff like that. And one of the things that I was asking her in a conversation we had was, do you fear what's going on? And her response was, I don't fear what's going to happen to me because I know where I'm going. But what I fear is what's going to happen for my family. I kind of worry over that. I'm not afraid of what's going to happen to me. I know what's going to happen to me. I'm not afraid to die. And that whole experience taught me I'm not afraid to live my life to the fullest anymore. David in Psalm 27 verse 13 says, I want to read this to you. I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. That's a lot to think about. That the goodness of the Lord is what got him through. The Bible tells us 365 times, do not be dismayed and do not fear. So I want to give you some verses of scripture this week about fear, because a lot of people see me sometimes going around stores and stuff like that without a mask, and they say, don't you fear this virus? And I said, I don't fear much. I fear what people can do to me sometimes, like if they have a gun and stuff like that. I have some wounds of what people have done to me. But I want to give you 5 fear-fighting scriptures this week. So if you kind of want to pause your video or whatever after I've given them to you, or write them down, I'm going to kind of go a little slower. Matthew 14 verse 27. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, do not be afraid. You hear that? Do not be afraid. Matthew 14:27 was that verse. Then I have Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That was Isaiah 41:10. Did you hear those words? Fear not, I am with you. Don't be dismayed. Here's the next one. Psalm 118, verse 6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me? That was Psalm 118, verse 6. 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That was 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. And here's one we've probably heard at a lot of funerals. Psalm 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23, 4. You see, everything Satan brings comes through fear. Everything God brings comes through truth and faith. You see it? You don't have to live in fear. Yes, the virus and the pandemic are a real thing, but are you living in your life in fear? Are you giving up things because of fear? Do you think God really wants us to live our lives in fear? When His Word 365 times tells us, do not fear or be afraid? These are some heavy words to think on. God bless you.